Hello class 3rd students, today I will teach you science. We will learn about living and non-living things. The chapter name is Living and Non-Living Things. In this chapter you will learn about characteristics of living things and non-living things. The hard words of the chapter are living things, that means things which need food, grow, reproduce, respond and feel. The next one is non-living things. Things which do not need food, do not grow, reproduce, respond or feel. The next word is spiracles. That means holes present on the body of insects. The next word is stomata. That means tiny holes present in leaves. Next word is reproduce. To give birth to young ones of one's own kind. The next word is grow. That means increase in size. The next word is natural things. That means things found in nature. Next word is man-made things. It means things made by man. These were some of the hard words of the chapter. Now we will start the chapter. Just take a look around yourself and observe the things carefully. Name 5 things you see around you. There are a blank spot. You have to name 5 things that you see around you. Now there is a picture given below it. And here is mentioned, now look at the picture given below and name any 5 things you see. Now I have mentioned here 10 things. 5 names are trees, birds, squirrels, ducks and humans. These things are called living things. And the another one is car, aeroplane, house, river and stones. These things are called non-living things. As you can see in the picture, living things can move, living things can grow, they can reproduce, they can respond or feel, and they also need food. And the non-living things, they do not need food, they do not grow, they do not reproduce, they do not respond or feel anything. On the next page, it is mentioned that things we see around us can be divided into 2 groups. The first one is living things and the second one is non-living things. Plants, animals and human beings are all living things. Bus, car, bat, ball, etc. are non-living things. The sun, mountain, rivers, etc. are found in the nature on their own. They are called natural things. Things made by man are called man-made things. For example, toys, vehicles, furniture, etc. All man-made and natural things are non-living things. Living and non-living things are different from each other in many ways. Now in the chapter we see our first heading. The heading is Living Things Move. In the description, it is written that all living things move from one place to another in search of food and shelter. Have you seen a dog and cow moving from one place to another? Fish swimming in water, birds flying in air and human beings walking? Reply in yes if you have seen it. All these living things move from one place to another on their own. On the next page, it is mentioned that plants are also living things. They do not move from one place to another, but they show movement of their parts. That means plants cannot move from one place to another, but they also feel like us. They also feed like us. They also need food. They also reproduce. They also grow. That's why they are called living things. For example, a sunflower always faces the sun. Now there is a question for you students. Can you tell why does a sunflower face east in the morning and west in the evening? There is a blank space in your book. You have to answer it here. The touch me not mimosa plant shows movement by closing its leaves when touched. As you see in the picture, The sunflower is facing towards the sun. And the another picture is of mimosa plant, or we can say touch me not. Here in the first picture the leaves are open, and the next picture when a hand is touching the leaves they are being closed. This is why how we know that the plants feel. Non-living things do not move on their own. A chair moves from its place when we move it. Now there is another question for you. Think and answer. A car moves on the road. Why do we say that it is a non-living thing? Now think carefully and answer this question. On the next page we have our next heading. Living things need food. All living things need food to grow. Food gives energy to work. Animals move from one place to another in search of food. They eat plants and other animals. Green plants make their own food with the help of sunlight, air, water and chlorophyll. In the picture you can see a cow is eating grass. The next picture, a child is eating its food. And in the next picture, a green plant is growing in the sun. And we know that green plants make their own food with the help of sunlight, water, air and chlorophyll. In the next point, non-living things do not need food. Have you ever seen a table eating food? Answer this question. All living things grow in size. You know when a baby is born, it is very small, but it grows into a child, then a boy or a girl, and later a man or a woman. In the same way, animals also grow. And in the next picture, you can see a human growing and also a chick growing. The baby boy is growing into a man, and the egg is turning into the chick, and then the chick is turning into the hen. A hen lays eggs which develop into chicks and then into hens. On the next page, in the same way, a seed of a plant develops into a baby plant which grows into a big tree. You can see a seed is growing the plant in the picture. Now there is a question for you. What do you think about non-living things? Do they grow? Have you seen your teddy bear growing in size? The next heading is living things breathe. All living things breathe. They take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Most animals and human beings breathe through the nose. Fish breathe through gills. Insects like butterflies, mosquito, etc. breathe through small holes present on their skin. These holes are called spiracles. Earthworms breathe through the skin. Plants breathe through small pores present under their leaves. These pores are called stomata. Non-living things do not breathe. In the picture, you can see a fish breathing through its gills. And the butterfly has holes in its body. The earthworm breathes through its skin, and the plant breathes through stomata. In the plant leaf, you can clearly see a picture of a tiny hole that is called stomata. Now there is a knowledge bubble for you. Do you know frog lives in water as well as on land? In water, it breathes through skin, and on land, it breathes through lungs. Now how miraculous this is. A frog has two things, its skin and its lungs. In water it breathes through its skin, and in land it breathes through the lungs. The next heading is living things feel. All living things can feel the changes around them. Our sense organs help us to feel the changes around us. In winter we shiver and we sweat when it is very hot. We laugh when we are happy and cry when we are sad. Plants and animals can also feel the changes around them with the help of their body parts. In the picture, you can see different emotions of a human being. In the first picture, the boy is shivering from the cold. In the second picture, A boy is crying. In the third picture, the boy is laughing. Leaves of touch me not, plant close when touched. A cat runs on seeing a dog. In the another picture, you can see a human being touching a plant of touch me not. And in the next picture, you can see a cat running from a dog. Now there is another knowledge bubble for you. Do you know eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin are our 5 sense organs. They help us to feel the things around us. Now you have a task to do. You have to spell all the sense organs of your body. In the next page, the next heading, we can see non-living things do not fail. There are 2 questions for you. Have you ever seen a door crying when we tighten a screw in it? When you bang on a table with a scale, does it cry out? The next heading is living things reproduce. Reproduction is a process through which a living being gives birth to a young one of its own kind. A cow gives birth to a calf. In the picture, you can see a human holding a baby. A mother is holding her baby. And in the next picture, you can see a cow with its calf. Birds lay eggs from which young ones come out and slowly grow into adults. A plant reproduces seeds which develop into seedling and then into big plants. You can see the seed is growing into a bigger plant. The seed is called the baby of the plant. On the next page, some plants reproduce new plants from roots, stems, leaves, etc. Rose plant grows from a stem cutting. See, not all the plants grow from the seed. Some plants also grow from their roots, stem, leaf or other parts. Non-living things do not reproduce. Have you ever seen a table giving birth to a small table? Now your chapter has finished. You have some important points to remember. The first point is things can be divided into living things and non-living things. Second point is living things need food. They grow, respire, feel and reproduce. The third point is non-living things do not need food, grow, respire, feel or reproduce. The fourth point is natural things are found in nature. The fifth point is man-made things are made by man.